Calling all junior detectives. If you are a resident of the Peterborough, Ontario, Canada listening area, I implore you to come to the taping of our next episode of Crime City on Saturday, May 20th at 8 and 9:30 p.m. at the Theatre on King. And now, on with the show! Welcome, junior detectives, to another exciting episode of Crime City, a monthly stage show in the style of old-time radio, recorded live at the Theatre on King in Peterborough, Ontario, Canada. This month's episode, Villainyville, starring Marsala Lukianchuk, Mike Judson, Kenn Gibb, Adam Martignetti, Mélanie Dubois, Dan Smith, and Sarah McNeilly, with live sound effects by Melissa Post and original music by Adam Martignetti. Crime City is written and produced by Andrew Root. Gather your family around the wireless set. Sit comfortably, and it's on with the show!
Greetings, junior detectives! Shine your badge, put on your trench coat, and grab your magnifying glass. It's time to set your radio's dial to intrigue for another exciting episode of Crime City, brought to you by the 13th Floor Hotel, the Personal Parrot Postal Service, and Delicate Rose Perfume. Crime City, home to the fiends, scoundrels, and ne'er-do-wells of the world, a cesspool of illegality. Honest citizens fear to walk the streets after dark, but one man stands against crime in Crime City, honor-bound to serve justice and protect the innocent. Our hero, Victor Marshall, Chief of Police.
Victor Marshall, at your service.
Tasked with commanding a corrupt police force, Victor Marshall, with the help of his boy sidekick,
Bramble, Adventure Scout, First Class.
You're not my sidekick.
Saving the world.
Don't!
With scouting.
God damn it.
And his trusted colleague, former secret agent turned private detective, Lilian Steele.
Hello.
Aim to clean up crime in Crime City. What nefarious foes will our heroes face in their quest to uphold the law? Find out in tonight's breathtaking installment, Villainyville. Students of classical literature will no doubt be familiar with the labors of Hercules, a set of titanic tasks, each more impossible than the last, such as the struggle of our hero, Victor Marshall, Chief of Police of Crime City. For each head he cuts off the hydra known as criminal wrongdoing, two more grow in its place. Even with record-high numbers of arrests and convictions, the rate of crime in Crime City continues to grow, to the perplexement of top law officials. But much like Hercules, our hero was not easily swayed, and he has a plan in mind. We join our hero in his office, joined by two of his Crime City's premier do-gooders, Lilian Steele and Bramble.
So, as you can see, if we put a thumbtack in this map of Crime City at the location of every reported crime, it becomes clear very quickly that our budget for thumbtacks is going through the roof.
Holy cow, Mr. Marshall. And here I thought we were making headway.
I honestly don't have an answer for it. Arrests are at an all-time high.
You're welcome, by the way.
Our crime prevention programs are running day and night to make Crime City safer, but if my calculations are correct, there have been 3 robberies and 2 corruption scandals uncovered since I began this sentence.
We're even having trouble at the Adventure Scouts. On our wilderness trek last month, 2 scouts had to be sent home for hunting protected species. Say goodbye to the eastern moon salmon and the Appalachian slime cat. And I mean good riddance to the slime cats. They're disgusting. But it's just the principle of the thing.
So what are we going to do, Vic? I'm happy to keep arresting these fiends and goons, but like you said, there are only so many thumbtacks.
And pretty soon I'm going to have to choose between buying thumbtacks and hiring you to tie up our loose ends.
What? I'm already giving you the discounted rate. Plus meals, plus travel, plus overtime, plus undertime.
Undertime?
It's all in the invoices I give you, Vic. This is a business.
Look, and I'm not saying you're not worth every penny, Lil, but it's a Band-Aid solution. I think it's time we consulted an expert. It just so happens that our sister city in the Deep South has recently posted a 0% crime rate.
0%? Well, how is that possible?
That's what I want to find out. I want to send one of you two down there to check out their police force, see how they run such a tight ship.
And since it's illegal to transport minors across state lines, I'm guessing it's me up to bat.
Bingo!
Victor, come on. You know how I hate the humidity of the South. My hair goes all thoomph.
Well, sure, but there are some fringe benefits.
Fringe benefits like what?
Mint juleps, jazz, southern bells.
Southern bells, you say?
Think of it like a working vacation.
All right, fine. But let the record show I'm doing this primarily for the bells.
Pack your bags, Lilian Steele. You're going south to Villainyville.
And so Lilian Steele, Crime City's #1 private detective, stowed her luggage in the trunk of a Packard Thunderbolt and hit the expressway heading south. Miles of two-lane blacktop fall by as the engine roars with good old American gasoline. State lines fly past until at last our hero comes to the famous Mason-Dixon line, the gateway to the south. There, before her, she sees...
Now, hold on just there, my fine fella. I'll take over now. Don't you worry your pretty little head.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Oh, my little dewdrop. You are a funny thing, ain't you?
I ain't no dewdrop, mister. Just who do you think you are?
I'm the narrator around this here neck of the woods, my dear. Seems any narrator worth his salt would know a thing like that.
What the... But Crime City is my show.
Well, I declare, if you're going to go all wildcat over a purely jurisdictional issue, why don't you wander back up to Connecticut or wherever you're from? And take it up with your union representation.
Don't think I don't hear that tone loud and clear underneath all that honey-drizzled so-called Southern hospitality. You haven't heard the last of me.
Carpetbagger. Ladies and gentlemen, my sincere apologies for that nasty bit of ugliness. It seems some Yankees still believe that they can toss us proud Southerners around like a fox shaking a chicken. Now let's get down to business, shall we? I presume you are Miss Lilian Steele?
Yeah.
Well, if you aren't the prettiest flower these eyes of mine have ever seen, my dear, I could describe you for days.
That won't be necessary.
Oh, are you certain? I've seen mountain ranges that couldn't hold a candle to
All right. That's enough of that. Keep your eyes on the plot, word man.
If you insist. Ah, the South. Spanish moss hangs from the massive cypress trees that line the highway. Riverboat casinos and horse racing tracks dot the landscape, and liquor flows like the waters of the mighty Mississippi. The air grows thick around our hero as she pulls her Packard Thunderbolt to the doors of the Villainyville Police Department. She mounts the marble stairs on legs built for speed. And comfort.
Okay, hey. Keep it in your dictionary, creep. Why don't you take a break for a while, huh?
I fear the heat brings out my more animalistic nature, Miss Steele. I cannot help but pepper my descriptions with carnal details. My apologies.
Yeah, well, watch the lexicon, jerk. This is a family show.
You people keep saying that. But if you could flip ahead a few pages and see what I see.
I'll have written you up for property damage if you don't quit breaking the fourth wall.
I shall take my leave.
All right, let's see. Villainyville PD HQ. Hello? Anyone around? What kind of police department doesn't have anyone at the front desk? Hello? Oh, jeez. Post a 0% crime rate and everyone takes a vacation. Hello?
Well, hello, miss. Gosh, I sure hope you haven't been waiting long. I'd be sorrier than a mouse with her little old tail caught in a trap if I'd kept you.
I can think of a few things worse than being kept by you.
Oh, my, a Yankee! How intriguing. We don't get many yo geographically inclined type round these parts.
Well, I can think of a few things worse than being round your parts. Oh, no. as soon as I said it, I knew it was inappropriate.
Well, well, what am I going to do with you? A strapping northerner with a silver tongue.
I hope you don't mind my saying so, miss, but you're much prettier than the officers where I come from.
I'd have to be a criminal to refuse such a compliment from a woman of your obvious charms, miss.
Oh, Steele. Lilian Steele.
From Crime City, I presume? Yes. Your office called to say you be visiting. Trying to let a little peek under the petticoats, are you?
My word, it is getting hot in here.
It can be, if you play your cards right. It's gonna be fun having you in town, Miss Steele. I can tell. But for now, you have an appointment scheduled with the chief of police. Too bad.
But, well, maybe later. You could give me a tour of the city. Really show me around.
All you have to do is ask, Miss Steele, and I'll show you everything. You're funny. Come this way. The chief's office is right through here. Chief Hooker, Lilian Steele to see you. Good luck, detective.
Well, well, well. Hello, Yankee. Here to root about in our chest of secrets, are you? Come in, come in. Don't just stand there in the doorway with your mouth hanging open like a catfish. Look at this catfish over here, would you, Jubal?
My name is...
I know who you are, Miss Steele. Or didn't you hear my secretary just announce you? My word! These northerners. Isn't that right, Jubal?
Look, I'm here to...
No. I'm just yanking your chain. Get it? Yanking the Yankee. All right. I do declare. I must remember that one. Allow me to introduce myself. Beauregard Longstreet Tecumseh Hooker. Chief of Police of Villainyville. And this here is my associate, the Adventure Scout troop leader around these parts, Jubal Farrago.
A rare pleasure to meet your acquaintance, ma'am.
Oh, hello.
And we should be joined any moment now by Villainyville's top private detective, just to give you a well-rounded picture of our law enforcement personnel. Ah, here she is now.
Looks like I'm late to the party. Where's the bar?
Oh, my. Now, this may be of interest to you, Miss Steele. I'd like you to meet Ms. Marsala Lulu Belle Enchantée. Private detective.
Charmed. Likewise. Marsala, was it? Oh, indeed it is, detective. So nice to meet a sister in arms. Can't imagine there's a lot of work for a private detective in a town with a 0% crime rate. Don't you worry your pretty little blonde curls about me. I get by. We take something of a more unilateral approach to crime fighting here in the South.
Now, Marsala, don't be giving away all our secrets. Miss Steele here is fixing to get her peepers on our playbook so she can abscond with all our judicial techniques.
I declare this Lilian Steele is more of a Lilian Steele.
Now, Jubal, you know that joke works better on paper, and you know it. Come on. But the good adventure scout, Farrago, does raise an excellent point, Miss Steele. We here in Villainyville have worked good and hard to achieve our level of success. Why should we spill the beans to any old Yankee that walks in through the door?
Are you being serious? We have a major crime problem in Crime City, and in the spirit of cooperation, I'd think that maybe that you would be interested in,
Don't mistake my geniality for foolishness, Miss Steele. An undue generosity is not in my chemistry, and I grow easily suspicious of those who come parappa the rap-tap-tapping on my door looking for handouts.
I am not suggesting...
You northern freeloader, why don't you head down to the depot and catch the 4:15 underground bus line back to Crime City?
I drove here, but did you say the underground bus line?
I do believe that Dubois means the Underground Railroad. Isn't that what you've been studying in grammar school, boy?
Why, yes, it is. I certainly am. Amazing example of southern infrastructure, the Underground Railroad.
The Underground Railroad wasn't an actual railroad, though. You do know that. Well, look at this one. Sassier than a kitty cat at a taffy pull.
I do declare. Yes, she is. Oh, my.
Okay, wow. I didn't expect quite this level of culture shock. Sassy as a kitty cat at a taffy pull. What does that even mean?
It means your quest is destined to be like an orchard in winter, which is to stay fruitless. I'm afraid that Crime City's crime problem is just that. Your problem.
Lovely to meet you, Detective, but I think you'd better head back home now.
Okay, now look. I drove a long way to get here, and I've no intention of driving all the way back tonight. If you won't help me, I'll go. But I'm getting a hotel room for the night first. I'm afraid that's a non-starter, Lilian. You see, we got a little old riverboat festival in town this weekend. Very popular tourist attraction. Hotels have been booked up for weeks.
So why don't we just have Jubal walk you back to your car?
Oh, come on. This is ridiculous. I'm not driving back to Crime City tonight, and that's that. Whatever happened to Southern hospitality? Y'all are about as congenial as old gravy.
Oh, now you've gone and done it.
Miss Steele, I am a patient man, but I will not sit idly by as you slander the good manners of the South. Very well. You may stay the night in my home, but under one condition. Whatever you do, you keep your filthy northern hands off of my daughter.
Your daughter?
I recognize the look of a thirsty woman, Miss Steele. And I will not have you quenching your thirst with the cool, pure, tall drink of water that is my daughter, little Dagmar.
All right, first, gross. What a weird way to describe your kid. And second, did you say your daughter's name was Little Dagmar?
From the moment she killed my exquisite wife in childbirth and stole her essence, God rest her soul, I knew my daughter would be a great and terrible beauty. So to spare her the attentions of unworthy callers, I named her Little Dagmar.
Effective. All right, Chief. I look forward to meeting your daughter, and I give you my word that I will not lay a finger on Lil Dagmar. Any chance you could set me up with that secretary of yours, though?
I beg your pardon?
Speaking of tall glasses of water, right? Yowza! I just thought about asking her to get me a file from the bottom drawer just so I could see how much stretch there was in that skirt, right? You must have noticed her, charms.
Marsala, would you be so kind as to fetch my secretary?
Certainly, Chief Hooker. Now we'll see about that Southern hospitality, right? Y'all?
You wanted to see me?
Miss Steele, may I have the pleasure of introducing my daughter.
Oh, no.
Miss Steele and I are already acquainted, Big Daddy.
Miss Steele is going to be spending the night in our guest room, little Dagmar.
Oh, really? How intriguing.
You know, I was just thinking I could sleep in a ditch or something. Any good ditches around here? Jubal? Marsala?
Oh, come, detective. You wanted to see some Southern hospitality, and some Southern hospitality you shall see.
Oh, God.
I'm sure you'll find every comfort attended to, Miss Steele. Oh, Big Daddy, I didn't want to interrupt your meeting with this fine northern woman, but there's a phone call.
Oh, what regarding, sweetheart?
An upstanding citizen wanted to report some suspicious activity down at the docks.
A crime?
Don't be ridiculous, Yankee. Tain't no crime here in Villainyville.
Don't you worry your pretty little head about it, Miss Steele. Like you said, you've had a long drive and you need your rest. Even though I'm quite sure it's nothing, I'll send Marsala here to investigate.
Why don't I get your things settled and help you bed down?
Won't be necessary. Thank you, little Dagmar, but I think I'd like to accompany Detective Enchante on this case.
Oh, now, that's no fun. It's so rare that we get any out-of-towners around these parts. I thought we could stay up and talk.
I'm a terrible conversationalist. Old lame-tongued Lilian, they call me. Marsala, I'd really rather come along with you on this case. If I could list a few things that I was not in need of, a tag-along would be chief amongst them, I assure you.
Oh, now, don't be hasty, Marsala. I'm sure this little old suspicious activity is nothing at all. So why not take along a little look-see and let Miss Steele say she observed our way of doing things? Come on.
Yes, perfect. It would tire me out. I'd sleep like the dead after a night of surveillance, I can assure you, Chief Hooker.
Phooey. Well, if you find yourself in need of conversation, my room is right next to yours.
Nope, that's fine. Fine, I'll meet you in the car, Marsala. Good night, everyone. Goodbye. Forever, little Dagmar.
She certainly is a different breed, ain't she?
That she is.
I like her.
Certainly you do. But I'm afraid our relationship with Miss Steele must remain strictly professional for the time being. Let's show this Yankee how things are really done here in Villainyville.
I do declare, all this excitement has put me in need of refreshment. Now sit tight, y'all, and we'll be back after these little old commercial messages. Don't touch that dial now, you hear?
If you travel often, you'll notice something funny about hotel elevators.
That's odd. There's no button for the 13th floor.
Lots of people think the 13th floor is haunted, you see. 13 is an unlucky number, so they just removed the 13th floor.
You mean they just labeled the 13th floor as 14?
No! They take out the entire floor.
Yes, they do. But what happens to those missing 13 floors? Well, we've collected all those unwanted and dirt cheap 13 floors and constructed them into a brand new hotel, passing the savings on to you.
But wouldn't that make this hotel super haunted?
Yes! Yes, and we've passed the savings on to you.
Look, honey, our suite comes with its very own Dracula.
How European!
The 13th floor hotel. Ghosts, ghouls, monsters, and savings. Book today.
Dear Grandma, thank you for the birthday gift. It was
Hey, you there. Writing a letter?
Yes, I am. I love my grandmother, and I want to show her that she matters to me.
With a thank you note written on disposable paper? Say, friend, what if it rains? That thank you card will be worthless.
Gee, I didn't think of that.
Or if the envelope tears, Paper is very delicate, you know.
And Grandma does have that nerve disease.
Sounds like your so-called thoughtful gift is anything but.
Gosh, is there a better way?
There sure is. Why not say it with a parrot?
A parrot?
The Personal Parrots Postal Service is here to help. Simply select your parrot from our colorful options. Repeat the message you want them to deliver, and voila.
Wow, so no delicate paper or soggy envelopes.
That's right. It's a sentiment that will last a lifetime, because parrots typically live to be 80 years old.
I'm sold. Get me that messenger parrot.
The Personal Parrots Postal Service. Our prices can't be refused, and parrots cannot be reused.
Friends, listeners, and detectives of the junior varietals, I welcome y'all back from that there commercial break. When we last left our story, Lilian Steele had come all the way from Crime City down to our little holler. Villainyville, that is. And just in time, too. Shock and awe aplenty as the first crime in a bloodhound's age has been reported. Lilian aims to accompany Villainyville's top detective, Marsala Lulu Belle Enchantée,
Hello, y'all.
to investigate. They take their positions on a grassy knoll overlooking the wharf to peep on the reported suspicious activity. Let's listen in, shall we?
My word! Look at all those riverboats. I seem to recall someone mentioning that there was a riverboat festival in town. Oh, now wait a moment. Why, that was me. I said that. We'll never find the right riverboat. Oh, okay. Just because a crime might take a little work to solve, it's not worth investigating? I see how it is. Pretty easy to post a 0% crime rate when you don't even try to solve the case. Yankee, you try my patience. We ain't gonna get along if you conflate a little southern melodrama with criminal negligence. Now just set yourself and look through these here binoculars. I still don't know which boat I'm looking for. If you hadn't quit the room as soon as little Dagmar turned on her charm, you might have noticed she also had a dossier of information for us. We're looking for a boat called the Swamp Queen. Maybe it's the heat and humidity, but between you and me, that little Dagmar just flipped me right upside down. Don't fret yourself. I get it. You do? Little Dagmar, I've got eyes, don't I? Well, thank goodness. I was worried for a second that I was the only one. One time or another, we've all thought about giving that Southern Belle a ring. I knew it! How do you stand it? She's like a blast furnace. Cool your jets, Yankee. I think I see our Swamp Queen over yonder. And look, there's 2 figures aboard, shifting cargo around. Oh, yep. I recognize those 2, Drizzle and Dulce. They fancy themselves a pair of gentlemen bandits, but one of them's a lady.
Careful with that there crate, Dulce.
Oh! I done dropped it right on my little toe. Look at it. Already begun to swell, Drizzle.
Well, bless your heart, baby. But you gotta be more careful. You're making me as nervous as a librarian with 2 rats.
Oh, sorry, Drizzle.
It's okay, baby. We just gotta project an air of grace and sophistication if we're gonna be a pair of gentlemen bandits.
But one of them's a lady.
That's right.
Say, what's in these here crates anyway?
Contraband or some such.
Oh, sure enough. Why, we hauling contraband to the docks if my old ma could see me now.
Mama Dodge would be right proud of you, she would.
Bless her heart.
Bless her heart. Now, what say we keep these crates a-moving?
I don't want to scuff up my spats, Drizzle.
Oh, well, watch your cummerbund there. I declare these tuxedos certainly is elegant, but maybe wasn't the right choice for hauling contraband cargo around in.
Agreed. But such is the life of a pair of gentlemen bandits, but one of them's a lady.
They're moving some kind of crate around. That's all I need to see. Let's go down there and arrest them. Are you simple? We need to gather more intelligence. Wait for them to open up those crates. Maybe tail them to the next stop. Simple? We've got an eyewitness tip about suspicious activity, and now we've got confirmation. I said we go down there, slap the cuffs on them, and make them open those crates. That ain't how we go about doing things around here. Yeah, well, I'm through sitting around. You can thank me for upholding Villainyville's perfect record when I collar those goons. Well, they're really more a pair of gentlemen bandits, but one of them's a lady. I know. All right, Detective Enchante, here's how we do things in Crime City. Hup!
Say, Drizzle.
Yes, doll?
You don't happen to hear the approach of footsteps in those little old sound catchers of yours, do you?
I admit I do hear something of the kind. What do you suppose?
I declare. Is it the 5-0 rolling up on us?
Goodness! Bless my heart, you're right. Quickly now, don't you over the side.
Hey, you two goons! You stop right there!
Not today, copper.
We'll see you in the funny papers.
Drat! They jumped onto some kind of escape raft. Who has those? Well, isn't this a fine kettle of fish? Good work, Yankee. There goes Villainyville's perfect record. And on my watch, too. Thanks a bunch. But there's still time to catch them downriver. No, thank you. You are done here. What? Setting aside that you don't have a lick of jurisdiction here, Steele, you've completely futzed things up. And I didn't want to say anything before out of politeness, but your hair has gone completely foof. What? Get lost, Yankee. I'll take it from here.
They say, she who hesitates is lost. But as you can plainly see, that's just another foolish northern expression, which has landed Lilian Steele in disgrace. In your next adventure, might I suggest fools rush in where angels fear to tread?
I don't like you. I miss my old narrator. He left out the editorials.
Don't blame me, kitten. I merely describe your regrettable circumstances. What a shame that you decided to come to the South at all.
Okay, that's enough. Can you just describe what comes next?
And so, Lilian Steele, her hair as foomfy as...
Hey!
as freshly blossomed cotton, made her dejected way through the city streets towards the guest room of Police Chief Beauregard Longstreet Tecumseh Hooker and the promise of sleep.
Maybe I can wake up early and sneak out of town before anyone else is awake.
But no such luck was to be afforded Miss Lilian Steele, as a sliver of light could be seen coming from underneath her bedroom door.
Hello? Who's in there?
Welcome back.
Jeepers!
That's right. None other than Lil Dagmar, the chief of police's unfortunately named, though not unfortunately endowed, daughter lay in wait on the bed of Lilian's chamber.
What are you wearing?
Oh, this? Oh, it's just a little something I had laying around.
An outfit seemingly designed to test the tensile strength of silk, and only just doing the job. I'll tell you this for free, gentle listeners. Lil Dagmar must do her shopping in the 80% off section of the lingerie department. Wow. Ruby red as Dorothy's magic slippers and hugging curves more dangerous than a Kansas twister.
Okay, can you knock it off? Get out of here!
I shall retire, but trust me, I know everything that's about to happen. And I will be selling copies in the lobby following the performance.
Look, this can't happen. I'm in enough trouble as it is. You need to go.
Now, I know you don't mean that. After you did up your hair, that's just the way I like it.
This, it's just the humidity.
I like my woman with a little volume. Well, if you won't come lie down, I'll just have to come over there to you.
No. Stay on your own microphone. No, there are we don't have to share.
I declare, the heat seems to have gotten to your brain. Wouldn't you like a nice cool drink of water?
I suppose I could use some refreshment.
That's good, Detective. That's very good.
Who's that?
Open up in there, you Yankee seductress!
Oh, it's just Daddy. Ignore that.
You open this door, or I'll break it down. I'm a wealthy man. I can afford many doors.
Chief Hooker, it's not what it looks like.
Was I unclear about the one rule of my household, Detective? Little Dagmar, drape yourself in a tarpaulin for the blessed Lord's sake.
Chief Hooker, there's nothing going on here. No funny business, I promise.
She made me do it, Daddy.
Wait, what?
She seduced me with her northern ways.
Oh, of course she did, little Dagmar. Of course she did.
Well, what seems to be going on in here?
What are you doing here? We seem to have entered the third act of a Tennessee Williams. Oh, please. The writing is nowhere near as good. And this is just a big misunderstanding. Hey, wait, shouldn't you be in bed, Jubal? You're a kid.
Well, you'd like that, wouldn't you, Yankee? 'Cause if I were home in bed, I wouldn't have caught you in the act down by the docks.
Down by the docks? Caught in the act?
Grand larceny and possession of contraband.
What on earth are you talking about?
Chief Hooker, if you'll allow me.
Oh, but of course, Jubal.
You see, something rubbed me as awful peculiar about this northern detective, so-called. So when she left the police office so suddenly earlier, I took the liberty of tailing her down to the river. There, I surveilled her board in a riverboat loaded top full of stolen contraband.
Well, sure. That was on official business.
Oh, official business? I'm sure I don't know what that means.
It means the case. You don't remember? Little Dagmar, tell him you were there.
Well, the only thing I remember is you ravaging me with your eyes, you hornet toad.
No, come on. This whole thing can be cleared up. Detective Enchanté and I went out on this call together, didn't we, Marsala? I did no such thing. I went straight home and went to bed until Jubal here roused me about your ill deeds. No, you were there with me.
The photographs only show you.
Mm-hmm.
Photographs?
Oh, yes. I've got my telephoto and low-light photography merit badges, you see. Now, where did I put those photos? Oh, Drant, I left them in the foyer.
Oh, never you mind, Jubal. Just ring for the servants to bring them up. Meantime, I'd like to hear more about this so-called crime you were investigating. As you know, Miss Steele, we have a 0% crime rate here in Villainyville.
But Lil Dagmar told you about the crime herself.
Oh, no. I've been home all evening practicing etiquette and chastity.
I feel like I'm going crazy.
Here are those photographs you were asking for, young Mr. Farrago.
That's them!
Who? Us.
That's who was down at the riverboat with the contraband.
Well, bless your heart, miss. We've been here all day.
No, we don't go down to the river very often, miss. Too much to do around the house.
Well, we don't mind, for you see, such is the life of
A pair of gentlemen servants, but one of them's a lady.
Look for yourself if you must, Miss Steele. The photographs only show you on that riverboat.
This is damning evidence, Miss Steele.
You'll also find a set of her fingerprints lifted from the scene, Chief Hooker. Only set of prints on the entire boat.
How? What is going on?
What's going on here is the only criminal in Villainyville is you. Now, I'm a trusting man, but you come into my town attempting to besmirch the sterling honor of both my police department and my own daughter. And I'm beginning to think this is some sort of prank on behalf of the Crime City Police Department. Now, I'm willing to treat it as such and not pursue legal consequences for your actions if and you agree to leave town immediately.
Get back to the north with the rest of the hands and reprobates.
Just hop on the underground bus line and ride it back where you came from.
Okay, it is the Underground Railroad. And it wasn't a real railroad, and that's not what it was used for. But fine, I'll go.
Oh, and Miss Steele, your chief of police will be hearing about this.
Cast out in disgrace and a fog of confusion. Detective Lilian Steele will have plenty of time to reflect on her circumstances during that long drive back to Crime City. Why don't we too pause for a moment and reflect on what's come before as we listen to these messages from our sponsors. Stay tuned, y'all.
You're a delicate rose,
Yes, I am.
and you want people to know it.
Delicate rose.
But beneath those petals,
Watch out.
there's a secret.
I'll never tell.
Delicate rose perfume.
It's our little secret.
Now available for men.
You're a delicate rose.
Yes, I am.
And you want people to know it.
Delicate rose.
But beneath those petals,
Watch out.
there's a secret.
Shh. I'll never tell.
Delicate rose perfume.
It's our little secret.
Welcome back, y'all. When we last left our hero, Lilian Steele had been cast out of the South in disgrace.
I don't understand it. I investigate a crime and somehow end up as the prime suspect. They're all against me. I don't care what that sneak Marsala Enchantée says. She was with me on that riverboat. And so were Drizzle and Dulce. And then that little Dagmar running hot and cold. What's the deal? Women. Jeez, what am I going to tell Victor and Brad?
Dejection and despair ride alongside the beautiful detective as she points her Packard Thunderbolt northwards and lets that old odometer do its thing. Miles tick by as the automobile heads towards Polaris, and...
Ah! There you are. I'll take the narration from here, thank you.
What's that? Are we at the Mason-Dixon line already?
Yes, certainly are, you southern dandy. Now get out of my narrative.
Well, there's no need for rudeness, my good fellow. I'm simply invested in the story of our lovely Lilian Steele here.
Oh, yeah? Get invested in this.
I say, you have offended my honor, sir. I demand satisfaction.
And you'll get it if you aren't careful.
This northern aggression will not stand. I've done all the heavy lifting on this here episode, and I demand to see it through to the end.
Guys, I'm really not in the mood.
It's not my fault you're stuck narrating a bunch of know-nothing boobs. Why, they don't even know what the Underground Railroad is. Underground bus line. Talk about pedestrian.
Everyone knows you don't judge a narrator by his characters, sir. Now I'll thank you to retract that statement.
I'll do no such thing.
Wait, that's it. You two shut up. You knuckleheads just gave me the answer I need. I've got to get back to the South.
Well, that's my jurisdiction.
She's my character.
Oh, for God. I don't need a narrator. Look. And then Lilian arrived back in the South. See? Easy.
How dare you, madam?
That's union work. You'll be hearing from our lawyers, character.
I declare, you give them an inch and they take a country mile.
Boy, you said it. Next thing you know, they'll be wanting to use the bathroom without us watching.
Where will it end? Where will it end?
The bathroom? Oh, what a pair of creeps.
You want to try narrating? Go ahead. See how far you get without us.
Maybe I will. How hard could it be? Let's see. Lilian Steele, recent PhD graduate. Why not? Who definitely had a healthy breakfast this morning. Found a $5 bill on the sidewalk. Well, hey, look at that. Thanks, Tubbs. I gotta get used to that. But now, on to business. Lilian arrived at the front door of the police station. With one fluid motion, she kicked in the front door. There, in front of her, stood Chief of Police Beauregard Hooker.
What? The police station? I was at home in bed. How did I get here?
Also present were Jubal Farrago and Lil Dagmar.
Now, what in the tarnation is happening down here?
Say, forgive.
And then walked in that rotten Marsala Lulabelle Enchantée, who stood in the corner and didn't say a single word the entire time.
Now, I don't know what this little game is, Miss Steele, but I've had quite enough. I suggest that
Tell me about the underground bus line.
Underground bus line? Why, don't be absurd.
Beads of sweat broke out on Chief Hooker's forehead as he felt his will began to weaken.
Well, how are you doing that, Miss Steele?
You ain't seen nothing yet, cousin. Jubal, fearing for his safety, urged Chief Hooker to spill the beans on the underground bus line.
The jig is up, Beauregard. Tell her what she wants to know.
Daddy, don't say a word.
And Lil Dagmar suddenly felt the urge to enroll in community college and study engineering.
I have always been interested in structural load-bearing dynamics. Maybe I could put my talents to use in that field. Hey, wait a second, what's happening?
I'm the narrator now! Now get ready because this one's a doozy. And then, without further prompting, they revealed their evil plot to the gorgeous and sophisticated detective from the north.
All right, fine. You caught us. Villainyville doesn't have a 0% crime rate.
Ah, I knew it!
Whenever we round up a criminal, we load them onto these big passenger buses. Those buses travel through miles of underground tunnels, taking the wrongdoer far away from Villainyville.
And then with no criminals in town, we can surely post a 0% crime rate.
Where do the buses take them?
Well, this is a mite embarrassing, but they take them to Crime City.
What? So your underground bus line is literally a bus line underground, and you're shipping your criminals wholesale up to my city? No wonder our crime rate hasn't dropped. But wait, why don't they just head back south to their homes once they get off the bus?
Well, you see, those there tunnels were built without a whole lot of ventilation systems. It's actually worked out to our advantage.
Those buses put out a fair amount of carbon monoxide, you see. Just enough that those criminals head north forget all about us down here in Villainyville.
That also explains why all the crooks in Crime City are a little, loopy.
Daddy, this is all such a surprise to me. Detective Steele, I declare that I didn't know a thing about this horrible business. I'd be willing to testify to that effect in exchange for some kind of plea bargain.
I suppose I could have a word with the judge. Get your community service transferred to my personal supervision.
In Crime City?
Mm-hmm.
Well, bless your heart, I'd rather eat glass. The North? With snow in the winters? What a disgusting notion.
Lil Dagmar, I'm starting to think you were never even attracted to me.
Did I?
Come now, detective. We're all working in the service of justice. It's only our methods that differ.
Justice isn't about making crime disappear. It's about harmony. It's about making a world where people feel they don't have to commit crimes in the first place, you goons! So here's what we're gonna do. It seems like a bit of a classic ramp-up to a bit of narration.
Well. Not so easy, is it?
No, it totally is. You guys have the easiest job. Look at how soft your hands are. But I can't do it without you.
And we're happy to help.
Or, more accurately, I'd just rather not to. Talk about boring.
All right. Let's not belabor the point. Beat it. Let some professionals take over.
And so Lilian Steele oversaw the filling of the underground bus line with solid concrete, ensuring that no longer would the secret subterranean tunnels serve as a shuttling service for the criminals of Villainyville.
And back in Crime City, Lilian began the process of rounding up all the southern criminals and sending them back to their proper jurisdiction.
Hey, you! Criminal! Where'd you get that purse?
Why, I declare, I'm just as flustered as a debutante at her first fitting.
All right, get on the bus. We're going back to Dixie.
Aw, dandelions!
Well, this finally turned the tides when it comes to crime in Crime City.
Will this usher in a new era of justice in both the north and the south of these good old United States of America?
You'll have to stay tuned to find out. And in the spirit of reconciliation, we'd like to invite our friend Lilian Steele to close out the show.
Come on up here, girl.
Well, gosh, that's awfully nice of you. Let's see, what to say? Lilian gets a raise, a huge raise. She buys a mansion, some really cool infrared goggles, and then all
she's gone rogue! Cut the feed! Good night, everybody!
This episode of Crime City featured Marsala Lukianchuk as Lilian Steele and Marsala Lulubelle Enchantée, Mike Judson as Victor Marshall and Beauregard Longstreet Tecumseh Hooker, Kenn Gibb as Brad Bramble and Jubal Farrago, Mélanie Dubois as Drizzle and the Southern Criminal, Adam Martignetti as the Southern Narrator, Dan Smith as the Narrator and Dulch, and Sarah McNeilly as Lil Dagmar. Crime City the podcast is produced by Andrew Root and Adam Martignetti. Listen to previous episodes on iTunes, Stitcher, Blueberry, and SoundCloud. To help us find new listeners, rate and review us on iTunes. Special thanks to Ian Osborne, Ryan Kerr, and Sarah Ty. Information about future shows can be found at facebook.com/CrimeCityTheSeries and on Twitter and Instagram at CrimeCitySeries. And don't forget, if you are a resident of the Peterborough, Ontario, Canada listening area, come to the taping of our next episode of Crime City at 8 and 9:30 p.m. on Saturday, May 20th at the Theatre on King. We'll see you next time, Junior Detectives. Detectives? 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 Detectives?